Welcome to Droidcon Paris. Could you say who you are in a few words, please?
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Rainer Horn. I'm the managing partner of SpaceTec Capital Partners. We're an investment and advisory group based in Munich and Brussels. We invest in startups, we coach startups, and we also advise institutions on how to go about certain high-tech areas.
Okay, and so you're here in Droidcon Paris to do what?
Well, here we would like to get to know innovative ideas, innovative companies, at the same time get a sense of what's hot, what areas are worthwhile investing in the future, what are also the needs of these startups and developers, because nobody's the perfect entrepreneur when he's got an idea. So with our emerging coaching capability under the MobiCap initiative, we want to fine-tune our service offering.
Okay, I guess it's not the first time you're coming to a Droidcon, is it?
No, a second time actually. We've been at London Droidcon before.
Okay.
We studied this and other concepts in detail and seeing what are the right platforms. So it's definitely the right place, and that's why we chose to sponsor this event.
Cool. So basically you're looking at ideas, people, and what you are providing them is some finance, but also some help.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of dump capital out there, capital that wants to get invested, but it only gets you so far. We have the experience that we have is that the ideal combination is that you have some private investor in the boat who knows what they're talking about, who have domain expertise, and then leveraging other sources of financing, more generic capital, making it semi-public capital, or from private investors who have no specific focus.
And how is it to be an investor in Europe? Generally speaking, investment is more like a North American thing in the public mind. It's not necessarily true, but that's what people tend to think. So how is it to be an investment company in Europe?
Well, if you look at it, I think the dot-com bubble was a good thing for Europe in retrospect, because a lot of high-quality people got lured away from well-paid professional jobs and from corporate jobs to try themselves out. This has created a small generation of entrepreneurs, and some of them who have become business angels if they were successful. So some things are changing. Definitely still in Europe we don't have the same venture culture as we have in the US, and there is still here and there a bit of a stigma. If you failed as an entrepreneur, there's something wrong with you. Whilst an American guy is tapping you on the shoulder, well, it's good that you have this experience, you won't do the same mistakes again. So I think that's something we need to work on. But let's also stop this admiration of Silicon Valley, and Silicon Valley being the only place where you can make it. There are also other. I think we need to help Europeans to scale in Europe their business, and not always look at the exit potential with Silicon Valley.
These years I was more in Canada than in Europe, and when I recently came back 1 month ago, I discovered that there is a whole new trend about creating companies, well, at least in France, and it looks more like sort of fashion trend than something going very deep in the culture. What do you think about that?
What are you exactly talking about? What kind of trend? Are you meaning accelerators or things like that? Or?
Well, a lot of things actually, but yes, what the French call incubators, which are sort of accelerators, and also there is a lot of public investment right now in the entrepreneur sphere.
Okay. Well, I see a few trends. Traditionally, we had in Europe lots of incubators, but incubators, and the word incubation comes from babies getting incubated. Unfortunately, most of them were just an empty hospital without the wiring and without the help that the baby actually needs. And let's take this analogy. We are trying to complement for that with our coaching offering because the incubators, most of them are Stone Age incubators, because they offer bricks and mortars only. I'm not talking about all of them. So also the accelerators, some of them are corporate accelerators, have tried to fill this gap with a very different thinking. They are extremely selective, and they are hoping to get the people through an accelerated program and chunk them out very quickly. So their success rate is higher, but garbage in, garbage out, quality in, quality out. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a different business. It's like whether you buy a high-class car or a small-class car, you're in a different market.
What's a good company creator for you?
A good company creator? Well, it's somebody who's got a passion for technology, mm-hmm. but somebody who first thinks about what problem he's solving for the customer, and having a view of who his customer possibly is. Technology with a brake, I would say. Somebody who's got the handbrake to say, enough technology, let's put it there. And if you take the example of Apple's largest innovation, the iPod or something like that, there was nothing new about it. There was a hard disk, there was a display which existed before. They've just packaged it intelligently together, and the innovation was really in the marketing. Mm-hmm. So somebody who is savvy enough of technology to be able to assess how much technology he needs, but is also smart enough to stop and say, here I need more talent from this end, here I need a finance guy, and willing to share the skill base.
Does government have to invest in the private sphere and more technically speaking in the company creation?
Government, I don't know if you're talking about the French government. I must say I don't know the French government too well. But looking at governments in general, I think there is some place to invest government money more smartly than it has been done in the past. Mm-hmm. A lot of money has been invested across Europe in building bricks and mortar incubating systems and incubators. At the same time, a lot of early stage funds have been created. They are helping to bring companies that don't have a business proposition into 2 years duration or so, but then they fall off the conveyor belt. So things are being promoted and put on the conveyor belt, but then they fall down if nobody is investing early alongside the public funds with a private mindset and with private valuation perspectives. And this is an area where we saw that there is a niche for us.
Okay. So how many companies did you invest in?
We invested skill and capital in quite a number of companies, formerly with significant share in one or two. Mm-hmm. One is in the making, one has been invested in, but in that one we've done 4 different rounds in co-investment with other investors. So we have invested skills and time in many companies in our coaching portfolio, and you can see them on our website. And they're ranging from location-based services to enabling technologies using innovative services from space. They're using gaming platforms which bridge the area between mobile and the fixed world. And so a very diverse set. And the companies we've been working with were predominantly, of course, in Germany, or willing to find their place into Germany. We're working with Belgian companies, we've worked with Israeli and Australian firms as far as.
Okay. And do you think companies that start in Europe are able to scale pretty fast to a continent size? Like, I mean, for example, does a French company can sell right now pretty fast in Germany, or is it still? Do you feel there is still difficulties to, walk the border?
Well, I guess in Europe we've got different starting points. Germans and French people and maybe Brits have a strong enough home market to test out there. We have been investigating quite a bit Southern Europe, Southeastern Europe, yes, where the countries are so small they don't even think of producing an application in their home language because their language is not significant enough, or the home market is not significant enough. So you have a bit of those ones that get it to a certain size and got a strong partnership, but all in French, all in French, all in French, all in German, all in German, all in German. Whereas others in smaller countries, they are forced to go international much earlier, and they're building the platform already for scalability. So I think there's not a yes or no answer.
And as an investor, do you see as a virtue the fact of being international earlier? Or do you prefer people to focus on their product, make it work, and then maybe after open themselves?
Well, I guess it doesn't matter where your first customer comes from. But you have to prove your concept with the first paying customer. Even if he only pays you with 10,000 euros or dollars or equivalent in yen, something else. We met an interesting company today, a French game developer who said, look, one of the biggest game markets is East Asia, Korea, Japan. I'm just coming back from these countries, and I must say he's right. I think these guys, they understood it, that it's not only the home market here, and that you have to think beyond the American market to capture this.
What do you expect from these 2 days of Droidcon Paris?
Well, interesting networking, meeting interesting people, both in the entrepreneurial area, but also meeting more investors in France. We're just about to launch in a few minutes the demo camp, which is a Mobicap sponsored event here, where promising pre-selected app developers will be showcasing their applications, and a panel of 10 VCs and investors will judge them accordingly. So certainly also an opportunity to get to know these guys and, well, enjoying a nice evening tonight in this community.
Cool. Can I ask what's your cell phone is?
My cell phone? Unfortunately the wrong one, but it's covered up today.
Okay, all right.
Well, once hooked, you're hooked, I guess. You've got all the connectivity.
Yeah, well, that's the. And may I ask one question about this particular cell phone? Did you follow the Apple keynote recently?
The Apple keynote?
Yeah. No. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, just wanted to, make you compare a little bit Android, because it's the subject of today, and what Apple is bringing on.
Well, looking at it, I think both markets, both platforms are extremely valuable. I saw some recent statistics which still say the more valuable apps are sold on the Apple platform, but there's quite a lot more creativity also due to the different scope in Android. We in our team, we are deliberately, some of our team have Androids and some people want to have Androids, so we are not differentiating in this. For us, it's just for practicality. You cannot run around with two different ones.
Okay, all right. Well, then I think I don't have any more questions. Thanks
Thank you
for the very nice interview, and well, see you around.
See you around, yes, thank you.